Okay, hey, we're not going back and forth. This isn't Jaws. We're not on a boat. We don't have to compare scars. It's fine. We've got stories, and we got a lot to talk about here. So before we get to all the news, because we are going to talk about the draft here in a bit, which you brought up, I wanted to talk about the big UK news. Obviously, there's two huge shows coming up here in the UK very shortly.
Mhm.
AEW is going to go all in at Wembley in August, and then on July 1st, WWE is going to be bringing Money in the Bank over to London. How does it feel for you guys to finally be getting so much love again from all the major promotions, Kenny?
Finally, it's very funny to me that like it took AEW so long to do a show here that CM Punk had walked out, and by the time they had to do a show here, he'll be back.
That's
So it's,
amazing.
it's full circle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hopeful we're going to get to see Sting. I think this is a great thing because if you're a WWE fan, WWE are absolutely going to do something after this to do something big again because they're going to want to make sure that people know that they're like, the number one. AEW, I think they're going to do at least 60,000 tickets. That's
Sure.
my prediction. At least. Um, so yeah, it's going to be huge. I'm very excited about it. I'm going to be there. I bought my tickets this morning. I got Nick. I pay for my tickets still. I contribute to the game. So I was on there, Fight TV access code this morning. Got my tickets.
Good for you. Good man. I don't have my ticket yet. I'm wondering. It's a lot of. I'm trying to go to Money in the Bank, but it's gonna be. I think it'll be. I think I'm expecting 90,000. I think they'll sell it out. Why wouldn't they? Every time that AEW has gone out and picked some big arena or tried to do a big show,
Hmm.
they always sell it out, right? Like, so why not just let's push it to the max. Let's put 90,000 seats out there. AEW fans are insane. Like, if they see that for some reason this isn't getting there, people will mortgage their homes to make the trek and make sure Tony Khan can put out a nice tweet about 90,000. I think they're going to fill the place.
Do you think? Do you think they bring in more? So obviously we know Punk's coming back, or we assume he's coming back.
Sure.
Do you think he's going to bring in more names to try and stack that show? Goldberg, like,
Goldberg would be interesting for sure. Is Goldberg a huge draw in the UK?
I mean, I think the thing is when you're doing a show like this, everything kind of helps, right?
Sure.
Because I think anybody who was big in the day, because it used to be that explaining this to non UK people was always tough. So Nitro used to be on like a if you had the basic cable package, you got Nitro. It was on the TNT, which was basic, but you had to pay like the sports package to get WWE shows. So I feel like a lot of people saw WCW. Molly Spartan, the Scottish wrestler who went viral a few weeks ago for chucking a woman off a balcony,
Okay.
she got into wrestling through Goldberg on Nitro. So a lot of people in the UK, I think, were able to watch Nitro, and then a lot of reasons that they got into WWE was it went on like a network station in 2000. So I think that there will be a lot of people who like Goldberg, and he's not wrestled over here since like 99, I think.
Yeah, it's
So
been well, and I think if you're gonna do him, if you're gonna bring Goldberg in, I would do him with Max. I'd do him with MJF, right?
yeah,
I don't really know what else to do with him there. I wouldn't put him with Wardlow. That seems like it would fall apart pretty quickly. But I think there's something to Goldberg. I think they've got Jeff Hardy back, right?
yep.
You've got Mercedes Monet and Naomi or Trinity in the wings right now. I don't know. I don't know what their limitations are. I've heard there's a chance they may have signed something when they got their WWE release where now they can't go work for AEW for a certain period of time as part of their release. So maybe that's why they're doing Impact
Yeah.
in New Japan and Stardom right now. I don't know if the forbidden door to AEW is locked for them. I don't know if they can show up at I don't know if they can show up at Wembley or in Toronto for Forbidden Door. But those are big names that are floating out there. Drew McIntyre, everybody seems to think there's something weird going on with Drew, like he's not happy. I don't foresee him popping up at Wembley. That's kind of a fantasy in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I would just think they want their full health. They want the Hardy Boys there. They want Punk there. They want Adam Cole there. Like you said, Sting. They want everybody healthy on deck so they can finally put on a kind of big ticket show. I think that Tony wishes he'd been doing more of it had he had everybody on the same page and healthy.
It'll be interesting as well because as of now, we don't. It's not a pay per view, right?
It's going to be interesting because they're going to do that, and then the next week they're going to turn around and do All Out in Chicago. So it sounds. I would think both of those have got to be streamed in some capacity. I don't know how you don't. They're huge marquee events for the promotion.
Well, the only thing, because is it not there was a tie-in to 100 years of Warner Brothers? That was one of the
Mm,
things. So maybe it's going to be like it's going to be on TBS or TNT that weekend. And I mean, you would think they could get a deal in the UK. I mean, they could put it on Fight easily. You know, if they did it
sure.
as a European pay-per-view. I mean, as someone who lives in the UK, if Tony Khan is watching this, you don't know what you do to us because the shows don't finish till 5:15 a.m. So, like, if there's a chance that people can buy this show and watch it on a Sunday at 7 p.m., I mean, it'd be great. So, and I think you'll find a lot of people will buy it because it's an easier time. People who've got kids, you know, they could let their kid watch it till 10 and go
Yeah.
to bed. So yeah, I think even if it's on TV in the US, I think getting it on a pay-per-view model in Europe is key.
Now, I think it would be interesting to do it on TV. I hadn't thought of them doing it for free. In the States, it would I think do very, very well. I do think that we'll find out more about that possibly then at the upfronts on May 17th. It seems as if Tony is doing a good I think I don't want to give too much praise here, but I think Tony's doing a good job at the moment of trying to get everything in line so that he's going to roll everything out at once. I'm predicting like Collision, maybe an update on the Wembley show, maybe a big press release about how much money they're getting for the TV rights renewal. I,
Mhm.
I I mean, there's just so much that I'm hearing like about behind the scenes right now about what all is being built. It doesn't feel like several individual things. It feels like a lot of little things that are actually like one big thing. It feels like the parts of a car engine coming together is what it feels like to me.
I mean, for me as a personal viewer of AEW, the thing that I think has been interesting is I feel like when Tony bought Ring of Honor, things started to feel not as organic as they had before that. I think there was so much stuff being put on AEW TV of Ring of Honor stuff and New Japan stuff and everything else. And then obviously we had the Punk situation in September. It does feel like he's trying to rebuild a lot of stuff and he's trying to um, get everybody back on the same page. I just hope that whatever's happening with Punk, that if he comes back, there's no chance for a blow up again. Like, just have it ready that like everybody knows we're all playing for the same team here. We're all earning a lot of money. Do what you need to do. You know.
I don't think we're there though. I don't think we will be there come Collision time. Like I think that the hatchet will not. I think the hatchet will still be like dangling over the ring. It will not be buried. Okay, the hatchet very much in play, unburied. I don't get the vibe that's happening
And
now.
who wants the hatchet? If the hatchet's still there, I mean, I mean, I me
It's
personally, I'm way more a fan of watching Punk on TV than the Elite. That's my personal style of wrestling that I like,
mhm.
and he's a huge star, so I get why they're bringing him back. I think they should, but
Dude.
surely you've got to have some safeguard in place to not let this blow up again.
But the safeguard right now is such a tenuous situation where they're going to just try to keep them separate, right? But you can't do that forever. You can't do it forever because, like, I brought this up with Meltzer, and I was going to mention it at the end of the show. But spoiler: tomorrow I have an interview with Wade Keller. I'm going to drop on the feed, and he was the one talking all about the Jericho Punk stuff. I've been doing a lot of Punk deep dives recently, right? And I think that they're gonna try to keep them separate for as long as they can right now. We'll try to do these little mediation meetings like what they
But are
did with
they?
Jericho.
Sorry to interrupt you, but are they? So Collision's June 17th, right?
That is the prediction as of now.